Hi, this is Ellen Ferrara. Welcome to Top Tips for CIOs. Today we're talking to Steve Masters about unified communications and how it plays into some information that we've just discovered in a new survey from BT about enterprise data and turning it into intelligence. So Steve, thanks for joining us today. Now, one of the interesting stats in this survey was a rather pleasant surprise for us in that 2/3 of the CIOs claimed to have complete collaborative tools in their organizations. Now, you do an awful lot of work in this space. Do you believe that stat?
Oh, that's an interesting figure, and actually it concurs with something I heard last week, actually, which is that 55% of CIOs, when asked, actually say they have deployed cloud services in their organization. Now, I thought 55% was quite high, but actually when you look at services like conferencing, they're readily available, and actually most organizations use conferencing of some form or another. So actually pulling a conferencing service out of the cloud, it's delivered as a service, so out of the cloud, and actually it's a collaboration tool, so it's facilitating meetings from people's desks. So I think it always depends,
right,
you know, how you cut these things. But I suspect that a lot of CIOs are using conferencing services and facilitating some form of collaboration in the organization.
So they've got the tip, but nowhere near the whole iceberg of collaborative tools.
There lies the challenge, of course. I mean, it's a great first start, and you know, the live meeting, the online webcast type service, or even the voice conference is a great substitute for people traveling. So it's a great time saver. It's a great way for, you know, saving money in the current environment. You know, the ability to get people together quickly. But and as you say, it is a first step.
Now, there's another stat that's a less positive one. Over a quarter of CIOs we talked to said that the inability to find the right information when they needed it has actually cost them business during the recession. Is that a surprise to you?
It's a surprise that it's not higher, I guess. But then again, I think actually somebody put on the spot asking that question may find it quite hard to find tangible examples. But I suspect that, you know, across organizations, particularly large global organizations, you know, that the ability to find relevant information is incredibly difficult. Most organizations have got all the info they need. In fact, you know, in today's society, in today's business environment, there's more information than we could even begin to compute. It's just about sorting that information and making sure that it's available to the right people as and when they need it.
So with that deluge of data, how are unified communications technologies helping enterprises to turn that data into intelligence?
It's a good question. I mean, we talked about the collaboration at the people level. So things like web conferencing, you know, conferencing services are allowing people to talk and communicate and actually share more readily ideas and in some cases information. The next step is actually getting the information out of silos that exist across the organizations. Now, I'm quite unusual in this theme because I think silos are a good thing. Okay?
That is countercultural.
That
Why?
is, but so my definition of a silo is that it contains something quite valuable. So within the silo in an organization, there will be, you know, depth of expertise, lots of information on the said subject. You've got economies of scale based on the people in that silo. Say deep, in-depth knowledge that's very, very valuable. The key issue typically with a silo is there's only one way in and there's one way out. And I think we've seen in our own organization, the challenge is to turn those silos, not to dilute them, but to turn them into what we would define as a center of excellence. So it's got the expertise, it's got the information, it's got the great power and knowledge that the business needs, but the boundaries, the walls of the silo are more fluid.
So what has BT done for itself to make this happen that customers should now be looking at?
So we've taken centers of excellence like my own team, my own area of unified comms, for example. We sit adjacent to the mobile team, the IT services team, and to the contact center, the CRM team. And quite often people say, you know, but you only cover unified comms, what about contact centers? They're so important. And I work extremely closely with my colleagues in those areas, but we've deployed collaboration tools for the workforce, for the user base. So, integrating traditional messaging with instant messaging, the ability to conference, to web conference, and we've broken down these barriers. And we've actually deployed sort of tools like SharePoint, so we can share documents and work and share on information. So we can still retain the deep knowledge that we need in each silo, if you like, but the boundaries between the two to set up virtual teams are so much more fluid and so much easier. And that's the sort of thing that BT's been doing for itself and is now starting to do more for its customers.
Okay. Thanks for that brief introduction. If you'd like to know more about unified communications, or if you'd like to download a copy of BT's new white paper on enterprise intelligence, then visit our website at bt.com/global services.